And now joins me live here on KTN News Center. Good morning, I'm Adam Oloo, and it is a sad day for the country as we wake up to that sad news of the demise of Senator Yusuf Haji.
Most fine gentleman, Mzee, whom you, as Senator Lusaka has said, was soft-spoken but always firm. On my behalf and on behalf of my family, we got to know each other at family level, and on behalf of the task force members, I want to pass my condolences to the family. Just to talk about Mzee Haji again, just as Senator Lusaka has said, I think we couldn't have been given a better chairman. Diligent, efficient, time-conscious, a real administrator par excellence. And when you look at his life history, having served in the civil service, having served in the provincial administration, having served as an MP, having served as a senator, having been a minister, and you'll find that his line was always on peace and security. Even in Senate, he was chairing the Peace and Security Committee. And therefore, when he came as our chairman to the Building Bridges to Unity Advisory Committee, we had a firm hand that was always in place and who was always looking for the best interest of the country. I can tell you that his leadership came naturally, and we all were awed by his way of conducting the business of everything that we did. So I can say this is a very, very big loss.
All right. So talk to us about the working relationship that you had with the chair, Yusuf Haji, because all of you, the BBI task force team, worked under him, the sort of leadership that he gave the team as you were trying to come up with the contents, you know, of the document, and also listening to different political players within the country as you look for a way of trying to bring some sobriety in this nation.
I can say without a share of doubt that the leadership that we had in Yusuf Haji, first, he commanded respect amongst all members, and therefore we always looked at him for direction. Given his experience throughout the country, everywhere we went, you could see the way he was adored by the peoples of the country, politicians, local citizens. And the name that was out there was not even Senator Yusuf Haji. It was always Bwana PC, because he had served as a provincial commissioner in most of the provinces in the country. In terms of coming up and settling on issues, again, he was always a chair who would give everybody a chance, not only the citizens who are giving their views, not only the stakeholders that were giving their views, but also us as members when we retreated to deliberate. He was always a firm hand, always giving guidance, always telling us to put the country ahead. And to that extent, we developed mutual trust amongst members. Remember that we were brought in at a time in which the country was so divided. Yet he steered the ship in such a way that as members, we put the country first, and that's how we were able to come up with a document.
All right. So talk to us about his last moments in the public as a dedicated servant.
You can remember that when we first presented our first BBI report, then it was Yusuf Haji who was up there with the president and the prime minister and the other dignitaries, in which he talked again passionately about the task that we had at hand. Thereafter, after our tenure was renewed as a steering committee, he would get indisposed here and then, but he had already left us in such a good state that we were able to steer. In fact, during the last moments, I would be consulting with him on a daily basis, briefing him on everything that was happening. And you'll remember that when we were in Kisii, I'm the one who represented him. But it would always be at a time in which I would go and get briefed. I would go to his riverside house, and we would agree on how to proceed. So even though he was not there physically, he was always giving guidance on how we should proceed. And I even stayed in touch when he was in Turkey for the last 2 months, and it's quite unfortunate that finally he had to bow down. On a personal level, I can say that Mzee Yusuf Haji treated me as a son, and every time he went out of the country, he would bring me a great gift. And to that extent, my wardrobe is the healthier because of Senator Yusuf Haji.
All
and
right.
Once again, on behalf of the task force, I want to say we have lost a great gentleman.
All right. And as we bring this conversation to an end, BBI took most of his time in terms of even leadership in his county and also his contribution on the floor of the House at the Senate. And we're talking about his dedication, but unfortunately he dies before he sees the fruit of the work that he put on that BBI document.
That's very true. That's very true. I think, Brenda, maybe Senator Osaka did say it, but he had to even ask for permission in order not to be attending Senate, in order to be concentrating on BBI. And it's quite unfortunate that finally he might not be able to see the fruits of his labor. But I think that he had already seen part of it. I remember going to his house to deliver him the 2 booklets because we had agreed that I would go once it was handed to the president to also go and hand him so that he has it as his treasure. Since he could not move, he had broken his leg. And I can only say that the country can do Yusuf Haji a favor by passing the BBI document so that it goes into the annals of histories. I am to also tell you, Brenda, that we had talked of him writing his memoirs. That one now, he might not live to do so, but I think even without his memoirs, one can say that the path that Honorable Yusuf Haji has walked from a DO all the way to a cabinet minister and dying as a senator is something that this country will remain in our memories.
Right, thank you so much, Adam Oloo, the Building Bridges Initiative Steering Committee Vice Chairperson, who served under Yusuf Haji as his Vice Chair, just talking to us about the good times he had, the good working relationship he had with the late Senate, and also just urging Kenyans to pass that BBI document as a way of just saying thanks to the service that Yusuf Haji put forth when it comes to uniting this country. But then I'd like us to cross over to Garissa County, where the senator served as the senator of that county, just to listen to what is happening on the ground. And I bring in my colleague Hamza Yusuf by way of phone. Hamza Yusuf, good morning. So kindly paint for